Is Holiday back? Batman. The last Halloween one comic recap Halloween. In other cities like Metropolis, it's a time for children in costumes, happily collecting candy. But Gotham City, Gotham is different. For this city, tonight will always be scarred by a serial killer named Holiday. Holiday waged a year-long war against the criminal element that held Gotham in a chokehold for decades. Specifically, they targeted the Falcone family, Carmine the Roman Falcon, Gotham's untouchable crime lord. He called that year by a name, the Long Halloween. A gloved hand flips a silver dollar, the coin spinning through the air, catching the light before landing back in the palm. It shows a face, then flips, revealing two distinct sides. Halloween marks another, more personal tragedy in Gotham's history. Harvey Dent, the promising young district attorney and once my ally, was lost to us that year. Half his face burned away, revealing the twisted man beneath. He became Two-Face. Sitting in the dim light of an industrial space, a glass of red wine in his hand, Two-Face smirks, simply saying, "Good." Nearby, his wife, Gilda, remains by his side, her face etched with worry, never wavering in her devotion. For a year now, the Dents have been in hiding, whispers circulating about their involvement in crimes of all sorts, including the Holiday killings themselves. But on the grave of my parents, I made a promise to rid this city of the evil that took their lives. I will find Gilda and Harvey Dent. Commissioner Jim Gordon has dedicated his life to Gotham City, but you can see the toll it takes, especially on his marriage, on his family. A young boy struggles with the cowl of a homemade Batman costume, pulling at the cloth over his eyes. "Honey, I'm just trying to help," his mother says gently. Gordon is on the phone, back turned, preoccupied. "Jim, does he have to wear the mask? Jim," she pleads. Gordon, holding the receiver tight, just says, "What a surprise, you're on the phone. Lopez, I'm sure you can handle it. No, seriously, I have to go." Out in the rain, under flickering streetlights, the boy adjusts his cowl. "What is it now, Barbara?" his mother asks, a touch of exasperation in her voice. "Do you care if he wears the mask up or down?" the boy clarifies. "It's called a cowl," she sighs. "Whatever. It's bad enough he picked that costume. Why couldn't he just be Peter Pan?" Rain-slicked streets reflect the distant, blurred lights of the city as other costumed kids hurry by. I know what it is like, to have a father who needs to be elsewhere. Back at the Gordon house, Barbara calls out, "James, your dad says." Gordon, still on the phone, distracted, replies, "James." She looks at him, frantic. "Where is he? Where's our son?" Gordon snaps out of his phone call, confusion turning to panic. "What do you mean? He was just here with you." The scene cuts to other trick-or-treaters walking by in the rain, their faces hidden by masks, as Barbara and Jim call out desperately, "James, James, where are you?" The camera pans down to show Commissioner Gordon standing alone on the rain-slicked sidewalk. His umbrella lies discarded on the ground, rain dripping off the canvas. Nearby, a small plastic pumpkin bucket is overturned, candy scattered across the wet pavement, reflecting the streetlights. Gordon, soaked and shaken, whispers his son's name into the downpour. "James." High above the rain-slicked streets, perched on a Gothic spire, Batman and Robin keep watch on the Roman's penthouse. It's been empty for some time. My sources tell me that Mario Falcone, the sole survivor of the Falcone regime, now resides here. Mario had always hoped Falcone imports would be legitimate, but instead, he lived to see his father, brother, and sister all murdered. All those deaths linked in some way to the Holiday killer. Water streams off Batman's cowl as Robin speaks, a little too cheerfully for the circumstances. "This is fun. A stakeout in the pouring rain. Remind me to speak to Alfred about adding pants to my uniform." Batman responds dryly, "You can go home, Robin." "I could," Robin starts, before spotting something through a cracked window in the penthouse. "Look, somebody is in there." Inside, a lithe figure moves in silhouette. "Catwoman." Robin, eager to act, says, "Catwoman, let's take her." But Batman stays his hand. "We hold. Robin needs to learn. Catwoman's appearance here shouldn't surprise me, and yet it always does." Inside the penthouse, Selina Kyle, masked as Catwoman, gazes at a framed portrait of a man and woman. "Where's the rest of it?" she asks, her voice a low purr. A silhouetted figure, Mario Falcone, stands nearby, wrapped in a robe. He asks, bewildered, "The rest of what?" Catwoman's eyes are wide and knowing. "The portrait. There was a baby in your mother's lap in the original." Mario is stunned. How would you know that? How could you know that?" Catwoman simply shrugs. I just do. Mario's tone hardens. Is this why you broke into my home? I should have you arrested. She leans in slightly, a dangerous glint in her eye. You know the old expression, curiosity killed the cat. I wonder how you'd look with 3 scratches down the side of your face. Her voice drops to a taunt. Aren't you supposed to be the good son, Mario? Talking about killing, MMRO. As she circles him, Batman watches from the rooftop, the rain still falling. What is her relationship to the Falcone family? Mario looks frustrated as Catwoman circles the portrait. All I know is that painting was one of the few things I managed to get out during the fire. Catwoman retorts coolly. The fire you started. Mario bristles. Can't a man burn down his own home if he wants to? Catwoman ignores the question. You've been gone from Gotham for quite a while. Mario asks. Why is that? She replies, a hint of mystery in her voice. And now I'm back. Watching from the rain-lashed balcony, Batman narrows his eyes, recognizing the familiar figure inside. You'll all know in due time, Catwoman tells Mario. He demands, why did you break in here tonight? Batman, looking on, whispers to himself, Selina. From the rooftop, Robin springs into action, calling out, it's showtime, folks. Below, Catwoman deftly climbs the side of the building. Robin leaps across the gap, cape trailing in the downpour, following her movement. He comments, I thought cats didn't like getting wet. In the past year, I have come to trust Robin more. But as with anyone his age, he does not understand the danger of what we do. Water drips off the edge of my cowl, obscuring my view slightly. It is the arrogance of youth. He doesn't have the experience with someone like Catwoman to be doing this. Robin swings through the pouring rain, a bright splash of color against the dark city, hurtling towards the penthouse window. Here, kitty, 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 he calls out playfully. Below him, Catwoman, graceful and agile, navigates the building face, her silhouette framed by the garish, glowing neon signs of the Gotham Theater advertising Wayne presence. Above them both, a dark cape spreads against the rain-streaked sky as Batman glides in, closing the distance. I know why he takes needless chances. He wants to impress me. I do not need to be impressed. Gotcha, Robin calls out playfully, swinging towards Catwoman, but she's faster. Her whip cracks out, wrapping around him. Careful, little bird. You'll get your wings clipped. Robin's smile vanishes, replaced by a look of surprise, then a pained grimace. You okay? He's caught, suspended in the pouring rain. Robin, I call out, diving towards them. I need him alive. Alive. I slice Catwoman's whip with a batarang just in time, sending Robin tumbling through the air. He lands with a splash on the penthouse balcony, scattering puddles. Picking himself up, he grins, a little shaken but defiant. Ta-da! I land beside him, the rain beating down. That was reckless, I say, my voice low and firm. Robin is instantly annoyed. What are you doing? You're letting her get away. He splashes in the puddle, frustrated. I'm not your liability, I'm your partner. Blam! A gunshot echoes, sharp and sudden. Robin's eyes widen behind his mask. That doesn't sound good, he says, looking up. Catwoman is falling from the penthouse, plunging through the pouring rain. I have seen Catwoman survive a fall from this height. Something about cats always landing on their feet. I dive after her, cape spread wide. But even she cannot know how many of her supposed 9 lives she has left. Below, on the rain-soaked cobblestones, a plastic pumpkin is smashed, candy scattered, a wrapped gun and a single shell casing lying discarded beside it. Water rings ripple in the puddles. On this night, holiday. On the ground, Robin looks around frantically. Any sign of her? Where'd she go? I point to the evidence. The tape .22 pistol, the smashed pumpkin, a copycat of the Holiday killings. Robin looks at me, surprised. I've studied the case. How do you know it's a copycat? Because I caught the Holiday killer. I interrupt. Wrong question. I kneel beside the pistol. How could anyone use this gun and hit a target that far away? Robin looks closer, sweat dripping down his face in the rain. A .22 is for close range. He pauses, thinking. Unless she shot herself. And this whole thing is a setup. I cut him off, my tone grim. She would not do that. Robin looks deflated, wiping rain from his face. Well, she did just try and kill me. I stand up. Gordon needs you. These two things might be related. I begin to bag and tag the evidence. I'll bag and tag what's here. Wait for the cops unless you want to handle it otherwise. It was easier when I was alone. But looking at Robin standing ready beside me in the rain, and I am not alone. Meanwhile, Catwoman, a dark silhouette against the downpour, makes her clean escape. Crime scene tape surrounds the Gordon house, police cars parked at the curb, red and blue lights flashing against the pouring rain. A detective, Lopez, speaks softly to Barbara Gordon. "I know this is difficult, Mrs. Gordon," Barbara corrects her gently. "It's Barbara." Lopez nods, understanding. "Mrs. Gordon." "I'm going to have to ask you some questions while it's still fresh in your mind." Barbara, visibly upset, her voice trembling, tries to answer. "What was your son wearing tonight?" Lopez asks. He was dressed as Batman." She pauses, tears welling in her eyes. "The truth is, I didn't want him wearing that, but he insisted," Lopez asks carefully. "Detective Lopez, you don't think this thing has anything to do with him dressing up as that?" "No, ma'am. These are just routine questions." Back at the Gordon house, under the yellow crime scene tape, Detective Lopez continues asking questions, her voice gentle but firm. "Mrs. Gordon, I don't mean to appear insensitive," Barbara, tears streaming down her face in the rain, shakes her head, interrupting. "Barbara." Lopez nods. "Barbara. But this isn't the first time your son has gone missing." Barbara's eyes widen in disbelief. "What?" She rounds on the detective, her voice raw with emotion. "How dare you? That was years ago." "James was just a baby, and why are you asking me all these stupid questions?" she cries, her voice breaking. "Shouldn't you be out looking for him?" She clutches her chest, tears overcoming her. "It's bad enough that Jim isn't here." Overcome with despair, Barbara collapses, sobbing into the wet ground. "My baby." Behind her, two dark figures stand silent in the rain, watching. High above, the bat signal cuts through the rain, a stark yellow silhouette against the dark sky. Framed within its light is the ghostly image of a young boy's face, the rain streaking down like tears. "My son," a voice echoes, heavy with grief and terror. "They took my son." On the rooftop, the bat signal spins. Batman stands resolute in the downpour. "I will find him." Below, on a wet balcony, Commissioner Gordon faces Batman, rain plastered to his mustache and glasses, his face a mask of anguish. Batman's voice is low and urgent. "I know you know, but timing is everything." The longer we wait, Gordon's eyes widen, fear gripping him. "The FBI will want in." Gordon stumbles back, hand flying to his mouth, a strangled cry escaping him. "Oh my God, someone has him, my son." He doubles over, utterly overwhelmed, the rain mixing with his tears. Rain lashes down on the rooftop as Commissioner Gordon confronts me, his voice strained with desperation. "What if this happened to you? What if they took the Robin?" He looks utterly broken. Rain streaks his face and glasses. He sighs, wiping them away. "I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that. It's just, why did it have to be today? Another Halloween." I watch him, the rain dripping off my cowl. "Jim." He puts his glasses back on, composing himself slightly, though his eyes are still raw with pain. "There is something else you need to know about tonight. This night, this holiday. It always comes back to holiday." Deep within the sewers of Gotham, amidst the rushing water and forgotten pipes, stands a hulking figure. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. Christened on a... he rasps, a sickening cough racking his body, bringing up thick yellow goop. Cough, cough, cough. He clutches the thick chain around his neck, struggling to breathe, his decaying face contorted in pain. Sol Grundy manages to choke out, the smell of stagnant water and decay heavy in the air. It seems even the undead aren't immune to Gotham's illnesses. Armand Grundy continues to gasp, doubled over, the yellow goop still emitting from him. He struggles with the heavy chain around his neck, weakened. Then he collapses backward, his massive, decaying form splashing into the murky sewer water. Bubbles rise to the surface, creating ripples in the green depths. Solomon Grundy sinks beneath the flow. Meanwhile, back in the sewers, Two-Face and Gilda approach a door. Two-Face calls out, his voice a mix of his two personalities. "Solomon, where are you?" "Here, he's in there," Gilda replies softly. Boom, the door explodes inward in a shower of debris. Smoke pours out. Two figures emerge from the smoke, wearing crude clown makeup, armed with shotguns. One of them exclaims, "What the hell?" Two-Face glares at them, his scarred face contorted with rage, his good side grim, his scarred side furious. "Clowns!" He pulls Gilda behind him, shielding her. "If you work for the Joker, you have no idea who you're dealing with." One of the figures in a clown mask grins grotesquely, replying to Two-Face. "Yes, we do." Another hand loads a bullet into a small handgun, a .22. Then, chaos erupts in the industrial space. The clown-masked attackers, wielding shotguns, open fire. Two-Face is hit, collapsing to the ground, blood spreading on his suit. Gilda screams, rushing to his side, cradling him as the attackers stand over them, their crude masks leering. Gilda cries out desperately, "Harvey!" The attack is swift and brutal. A crudely painted clown mask stares out, one eye glinting menacingly in the darkness. From it, a voice speaks, cold and sharp. "We're going to talk about Holiday, Gilda Dent." The voice pauses, a sinister promise hanging in the air. "Or this'll be your last Halloween." Below, Gilda desperately clutches the injured Two-Face, blood staining his suit. His breath is shallow, his face a grimace of pain and his dual nature exposed. On the floor beside them, the discarded clown mask lies in a pool of blood, the small .22 pistol and empty shell casings resting nearby. The night has just begun. Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious, stay awesome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing content.